day in Bugolowi. Hope there will be no rain today. Yes, this is June the 30th, the last week of weekend in June, in August, sorry. And our topic today is once again to do with technology and aging. And this particular time, we are going to have a shared experience from one of us. I'll introduce her later on. And will be assisted by the speaker who gave us the first section of technology and aging, that is Engineer Patrick Kadama. And I'm sure both of them are already on, and you're most welcome. Yes, Purposeful Aging I bring greetings from Purposeful Aging to Aging team, and allow me to welcome you once again this morning on the 8th session. We have chosen a very exciting topic that is shaping the way we live and the way we care and the way we age. The topic is technology and aging, a lived experience. If you can remember very well, we dealt with technology and aging, a friend or a foe. That was at the end of June. That's why I was getting mixed up. The Purposeful Aging team is honored to host once again our very own Mrs. Agnes Joyce Mungati to share her experience with us this morning. I'll ask her to just greet you before I do more introduction. Good morning, Mrs. Agnes Joyce Mungati.
Good morning, Dr. Christine, and good morning to everybody who is here.
Okay, thank you. We are all fine. Yeah, Mrs. Joyce Mungati, whom you can clearly see on the screen now, is a
Agnes.
vibrant octogenarian, a retired nurse whose life journey beautifully embodies resilience, service, and adaptability. Mrs. Mungati is a trained nurse who practiced for over 20 years at various hospitals in Uganda and away from Uganda. After these 20 years, she continued service as a domiciliary nurse, offering care to patients in their homes. Beyond her professional contributions, she's a devoted mother, she's a grandmother, she's a great-grandmother, and a very dynamic Rotarian. For the past 8 years, she has dedicated her life to caring for her husband following a stroke incident. If you can recall, this is what we talked about earlier in the past when she presented. This role has required both strength and compassion. It's not easy to look after someone who was once dynamic and vibrant, but now has to be cared for. At the same time, she remains active in a number of organizations worldwide. She continues to contribute her wisdom and experience to the community and professional circles. What makes her story very particularly relevant to us today, is her relationship with technology. For much of her life, she of course lived without digital literacy, like many of us. because she's now an octogenarian. Yet in recent years, she has found herself navigating the digital world, whether with healthcare, communication, and social connection. Her experience reminds us that aging and technology are not opposing forces, but can be woven together in ways that enrich lives and empower older adults. Mrs. Mungati, you are most welcome once again. We shall have your experience shared for about 40 minutes, and then we shall have a question and answer session during which participants can give their comments, questions, and interaction as we always do. And thank you so much for coming and accepting to share always with older adults. You're most welcome, and the floor is yours now. Mrs. Mungati?
Where I'm seated right now.
Yes, you can start sharing now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but you're a bit distant. You can, if you can increase the volume, it will be okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can I be heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm seated in a place where I thought it would be nice to sit outside, but because of the sun, I can't see what is on the screen. So when it is time for me to stop, you'll just have to raise your voice. Don't put any sign anywhere. I won't see it. But I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you for the team you work with, because I've ever been to your home when we presented the stroke experience we've gone through. The first stroke, we've had a second one. And I saw the team at work. You were there busy. Dr. Philippa was there with her children. Dr. Engineer Patrick was there. Dennis must be also an engineer. And far away was Tina, Dr. Tina. And I appreciate you all for the work you do. For me, I observed this since COVID, and it helped me a lot. I tried my best to attend, but because I always have a meeting at 11:30 on Saturdays for women in a different organization, so I always jump out early. Let me try to do what you asked me to do, but let me ask God to guide me. Heavenly Father God, I ask you to guide me as I start speaking to your people, that whatever you put on my mind can be passed on. The knowledge which you want me to pass on, install it in me so that I can pass it on to your people, to be useful to a frequent user of Mr. Google. And this morning, about an hour ago, I asked the nurse. We have a nurse, a full-time nurse. Our girls are paying for him, and we are grateful for that. And he wrote for me what technology really is by Mr. Google. And the simplest way referring to technology is application of scientific knowledge to achieve practical goals, creating tools, methods, or process to solve problems. All in this, anything to simplify something and make it work is a technology from my way of understanding. And when I thought of this, I straight away thought of something when I was a little girl. I was born in Mbale. My father was a doctor in Mbale Hospital. And I know they left him Bali by 1949. They had left him Bali. So I was within the age of 6. But I remember my father used, whenever I woke up and cried, I don't know crying for what, he would ask my mother to mix sugar in water and give me a cup of water with sugar. And I would go back to sleep. And the next time it would be the same thing. So when I was looking at technology, the way, a simplified way, I remembered the love my parents had for me, because I don't even know why I cried. Maybe I was hungry, maybe I was thirsty, but it served the purpose. And then when I was about 11 years, 11, 12, my father took me to the village to be with my maternal grandmother. Her name was Judith. She was a very quiet lady, but very practical. She did a lot of work. She was a widow. She had 3 children. My mother, another sister, Joyce, and then a brother, a bigger brother. But one thing I saw in her kitchen, she always used pots. Pots had covers, clay pots. They had covers for the food she cooked. And also above the fireplace, there was somewhere which was constructed where she can put her stuff to dry slowly, over butiko, over whatever it is, over when we have eaten pumpkin, the pumpkin seeds, she puts them up there, because in the end we would eat pumpkin seeds with our breakfast. And our breakfast used to be a potato, emboli, and it used to be a bowl which is slept, not cooked freshly, and it was all fresh. To me, it was a fresh smell from that kitchen. So when I was thinking about technology in a simple way which can solve, these days when I go to the doctor to help us with the diet and all that kind of thing, to keep us in shape and to keep us healthy, he tells me, don't eat too much bread. You are not allowed white bread. You eat the bread. For me, I'm allowed only once a week, that is Sunday. And the milk I'm allowed on Sunday for me, the type I take, either almond or soya, and it is plenty. And my husband, he takes his little milk every day in his tea, but he doesn't go overboard. And so when I think about the technology of today, which is costing us, because to go and see that doctor to advise me about diet, it is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And yet the things I learned when I was young, what I saw at my grandmother's home, drying the food before cooking it, the little meat, whenever she got it, she would put it on the fire, then put it up there for the smoke to go in. These are the things we are spending money on machines which we have now. And I have a machine for roasting, so that every meat which is cooked here is dried fast. Be it beef, be it chicken, be it fish or whatever it is. And then in the kitchen there, we have to have stuff which helps us to
Mrs. Mungati, maybe you switch off your
easily,
video.
and also in way where I put it.
Switch off your video, because I think we are getting some interference.
Video. Hello, can you hear me? It has gone off.
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So now I hope you have not missed my grandmother's remedies at her home and her technology, because it has helped me up to now. I had to talk about it because when I talked about it, it is the things I still use here. We dry our food before we cook it because we are not allowed, especially the proteins. And then there's things which we use, slow cooker and all those in the kitchen to make the food more soft and nicely cooked with the flavor still in. And then we have a machine for washing clothes to help because we must wash every day, or every alternative day we must do some washing. We can't keep those clothes as they are. And then we must have the gadgets for walking. We have a walker here, we have a wheelchair here. Our daughter brought for his birthday when he made 90 years. She brought us a wheelchair, which is very, very practical. But of course, the nurse has said he doesn't want to use it to make him feel that he's not able to walk. But we have those gadgets, they are all here, and we give thanks to God for provision. Now, when it comes to this technology, I understand this advanced technology, these computers or whatever, laptops and telephones. The communication these days has changed. In the years past, when we had phones, we used to have phones which were on the desk. And I remember when we would be in the village, we would have to move to the post office of that area to go there to make calls, because we were not succeeding when we were homes, and some things were urgent at times. So we had to go to the post office and sit there, and this one would call and this kind of thing, and it would take time for communication. So this communication which has come about recently, for me it is just recently, about 25 years ago, that's when my daughter, the last born, but by then we were taking care of her baby, the baby, we used to call him Tube, in our home. And I thought this was a gift, a real gift because of that. But it was my first phone. And I didn't know much about a phone apart from calling and receiving and sending SMS messages. But until now, when we advanced, the technology in the days of COVID-19, I was stranded. I live in a world where I attend meetings, 4 or 5 meetings a week, and a day I can have many meetings. But then I was locked up in the house. So a thing called Zoom was introduced. And when Zoom came, it brought the whole world in our house, because whatever meeting it was, it sent me to another world, no, above Uganda. And I would have the whole world in my house when I'm just seated in one place. So I thank God for that too, because where else would I have found such a thing? I don't have the money for tickets to go and meet different people at different places. And then we started the study online, which is called BSF, which is a Bible study fellowship. We couldn't go anymore to meet, so even that Bible study fellowship started in a home. And when I started these things, everything was very difficult for me. So difficult. I would ask a grandchild, can you come and help me here? I had a laptop at that time. That laptop, I bought it in 2011 in Dubai for a few dollars, but it worked. And I used to tell those people whenever I was on, I can't see what you are talking about. They say, look at the far end on this side and on this side, and I wouldn't. But all the same, I found that it's easier for me to use a telephone than a laptop, because when I bought a proper laptop, which I thought was newer, when I tried to log in one of these meetings, I was told I can't be heard. And so I said away with that laptop, because I wouldn't know where to touch. And also I wouldn't know where to go if power went. Because now that I'm using the telephone, the data is on and also the Wi-Fi, because sometimes power goes off abruptly. And so I have to be equipped properly. So I'm very comfortable with the telephone and I'm using it. And then I have a problem because I cannot write anymore. My hand shakes very, very, very much. And so I needed a way out. And in one of those studies where I go, when I told the ladies I have the book, but I can't fill it in, I used to have a houseboy who used to know English. He would help me do my homework, but now I don't know. So one lady showed me her telephone and said, I can use this accessibility shortcut, and it has done wonders. I don't know if everybody knows about it, but for me, it was a new world opened, because I just simply speak and the words are recorded as they are, except I have to edit them because they they bring old notes and all that I have to edit when I'm finally going to do my studies. So my life has been like that. But also, I would like to talk about when I was growing up with my parents in the home. We used to have a radio, and when we had a radio, those people, those days, used to value what they had. It was for news, and the family would collect together to listen to the news. And after the news, our father would go on to go to his BBC and the rest of the things. And what I've discovered is that those days when I was growing up, we could come together as a family, we could tell stories as a family. But these days, the phones which are there, everybody has a phone. And so we are almost like a divided family. Everybody's where they are, and they are very comfortable. And anyway, they are okay. Now, I was told the challenges of using the technology. For me, I have become so comfortable to use a telephone, and yet a telephone cannot do it all. And in most meetings you go to, and they say you chair this meeting, now you do this. And then they always say, oh, of course, but we know your problem is because you are on the phone, you are this and that. So there are things I can do, there are things I can't do. Because the formats, me, I have to have a hard copy. I ask somebody to give me a hard copy of everything, so that if it is a meeting, I have to know that meeting, what is the format, so that I print it out before that meeting starts. Those challenges, because I have become so comfortable on the telephone, I fear the laptop, because they couldn't hear me. And then my daughter, when she came here and she borrowed it, she told me that it has no windows. But for me, that didn't make any meaning, because I don't know what windows are anyway. Because the little I could use, and I used it last year in June. We lost Aunt Adelina, and I had to be on the funeral uh, on Zoom here. I was sick, and I needed something where I could see everything. And I had and I saw. But no, talking about Windows, I don't know. That is for if anyone borrowed and wanted Windows on my phone. And I have overcome the things, the fears, and everything by daily practical ways, because I cannot go without a meeting. Every day there is a meeting, I log in. There are different meetings I log in. And it is very useful to have a meeting here on the telephone right in my home. It is the easiest thing I can do. And then I ask my grandchildren if they are around, please, can you help me here? Can you help me with this? Even yesterday, this accessibility shortcut, they were still showing me other different ways, but he was leaving for Bali, so he couldn't do much. But I think there's a lot more to learn, and I'm ready to learn more. But if there's someone to teach me about the computer, I'll be ready to use the computer, because I use the telephone every day to share scripture, to share things in different programs where I go to, and I can't keep quiet. And so I need an upgraded way of communication. But where I am so far, I feel that it is okay for me. Now, the things which people who are taking care of us, the older people, like our nurse, like my grandchildren, and the people who we approach for help, they need patience, because for us, we don't rush into anything anymore. And yes, when we are determined to do it, we go in with a full heart, so that the person who is handling us needs patience to accept our speed, because our speed is a bit different. So that is cautioning those people who are taking care of us. And Jaja Daddy, my husband, has also got a telephone which he doesn't use. And when I'm traveling, I say, please put on the Zoom. But they say, but this telephone, the way they put on this Zoom, it is no longer accessible. So I don't know who will do it. So now, right now, he's on, but he's using the nurse's telephone. But we have not been stranded in any way. And the benefits I feel I see in technology, it has saved me a lot. It has saved me. Like the things I was talking about, the walking gadgets and all that. My husband used to fall a lot, but the walking stick and all those kind of things have helped me, have helped him a lot. And the cooking gadgets which we have in the kitchen have shortened the cooking time. You know, it cooks faster, it cooks, makes something very soft and that kind of thing. And this technology on the telephone and computer, seeing the people you are talking to, who is who. And sometimes in some meetings, they go around and want to identify people to identify themselves. And you feel so well, the whole world being in your house and you are here in one place. So I feel, and I share scripture every day to 183 people, different scriptures. And I feel it, I like it, because people keep telling me that we have also shared, this one has helped me here, this one does that. So I continue receiving and also passing on to other people. And there's more knowledge still coming in, as Dr. Christina has mentioned. We are in Rotary International, that is worldwide, and we are not sitting home. And it is an invitation to you all to serve the world through Rotary International. It is very good to be there. And I don't know if there's anything I have left out, I haven't talked about. If anything, please let me know. But I feel that, unless if I'm reminded, I feel that's the best I can say for now. Thank you.
Wow, Wow, thank you so much, Mrs. Mungati. To take us through your life and technology. It's interesting how you related from grandma to now. It's a very impressive story. I'm sure there are many comments and additions from the audience. There've been questions she has put, like how can she find volume on her laptop? How can she be helped to sometimes use the laptop rather than being stuck on the telephone? And I've liked the way you brought out the role of everybody in the house. At one point, the technology looked like it was cocooning everybody in their laptops or in their phones. But lo and behold, you came to the point where actually the older adult needs assistance, needs guidance from the younger ones who are very good at the digital. They are good in the digital world. And you mentioned that the older adult is slow. They are willing to learn, but they take it in slowly, but take it in. That calls for a lot of patience from the younger people, from us, the helpers, whatever age you are. You need to take that up, put it at the back of your mind that the person you're trying to help is slow and will take it in slowly. Be patient with them. So that's another way of getting the family back together. That you know that whenever grandma calls you, there's something you may be able to help her with. And generally, it's been as intimated. This is someone who is willing to really get on with life. And as it changes from grandma's line of hanging food and whatever to the current pots she has in her kitchen, to the laptop, and a lot more. I think now we can share comments and questions. And Martha, would you like to take on this session? Are there any comments or additions to what she has said? Yes, if in case Martha is having some difficulties, you can put up your hand. Anyone who has a comment? Engineer Patrick, do you have any comment, additions to this?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
I would just really like to thank the speaker. It's been very enlightening, getting the perspective. And it really shows there's an opportunity for us to further enhance quality of life as we grow a bit older, especially through things like as you said, the ability to enhance your experience with everyday tasks, cooking, walking, um, communication, as well as things like maybe driving, so forth. So it's very insightful, and I'm thankful for her shared experience. That's been very honest. I'd just like to give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Yes, there is a comment from Philippa. Thank you, Mrs. Mungati, for sharing. I liked how you took us back 80 years ago, and I have new respect for these phones. And a comment from Margaret. Wow, very interesting package from Mommy. Yes, and I would like to maybe dig a little more into the caregivers. These days, you go to the hospital and the older adult is given a gadget to go back home with for monitoring whether pressure or other things in life. These are things which are definitely new to all of us. But if you find somebody who has embraced technology like the guest we have this morning, this is going to be easy for both of you. But let's be ready to welcome technology even in our beds, because such a gadget is supposed to be on your body the whole 24 hours. You can't take it off. You can't say I'm putting it off because I'm going to have a bath. No, they are monitoring part of your body, a system in your body, and it is 24 hours. So these are things which we need to accommodate. And as she has mentioned, grandchildren, be very, very helpful to ease the tension which may come along with the new gadgets to the older adult. Yes, any further comments? Do we have a practicing person, doctor online this morning? Do you want to take us through? Gadgets, she has done a lot, she has talked a lot about communication, and I think many of us were affected by that isolation we had to go through during COVID. You cannot drive away. You have all the cars you want, but you can't go away from your home. I remember an experience which I had when I had to stay indoors for 2 weeks, not indoors, in one room for 2 weeks. Could not even step outside the room. The minute you step outside, the bell goes off that you are stepping outside. It was like a prison, but in hospital because of COVID. And the only thing that kept one going was the telephone, the TV. You could communicate on that. Otherwise, I think it can be very, very lonesome for someone who cannot use those gadgets, and yet you are isolated. You are in a home and you sit outside, you engage yourself in the kitchen, everywhere, but you need some way of communicating with the world, with your family, with everything. Okay, looks like we don't have any more questions. This is I think I'll just give a closing remark, and we close early today, and I think this will be good for our facilitator because she has another meeting to go to. Yes. Yeah, thank you so much, Mrs. Mungati. The older adults here present, the caregivers, and the young adults who are now very good at technology. You have got at least an impression of what technology is from an angle of the older adult. And let's all work together to make technology friendly, useful, and a necessary evil, really, to all of us. If you are a caregiver, please don't put on earphones, engage yourself in your phone, and forget that there is someone you are supposed to at least peep at. Don't just look at your screen. Make sure your telephone or your technology is not taking you away. It's not creating a new wall between the older adult and yourself. Usually when you're young, you need loud music, and now it's loud music with blocked ears, and the older adult may not have the strength to shout so much. So as you enjoy the gadgets yourself, make sure that you don't create a problem in the work you are doing. I want to say that technology is actually a blessing in many times if properly used. For example, you could use soft music to keep the older adult engaged and not lonely. And she has given us all the meetings she's able to attend, so you can keep busy right at your home without having to move outside your home. Mrs. Mungati, we are really grateful because you always share openly with us, always ready to come on. We want to call upon fellow older adults to embrace technology and make our lives easy. And to the caregivers, do not get tired when we seem to be slow at getting on board. Just keep on encouraging us. We shall get there. There've been some comments which have come in. Thank you, Mrs. Mungati, for sharing with us. Very enlightening indeed. And thanks so much, Joyce, for that wonderful presentation. Sorry, I missed the beginning where you were. Okay, that's from Mary. Yes, I want to thank all of you for tuning in this morning and invite you to visit our YouTube channel so that you can try and combine sessions which have been aired before, like in the beginning, in year 2022, we talked a lot about psychology or the loneliness of older adults. And this session, if you combine the two, you can see how you can prevent this depression in adults by interacting with the whole world while you are still in your own home. You haven't gone out. Don't take the sessions separately. Try and revisit them so that you learn how to make the life of the adult easier and happier. We shall come again on 27th of September with a topic. I think it's going to be about sleep, and this is important too in the life of an older adult. And it's also important related to technology. Don't make the technology drive the sleep away from you. Or when the sleep is not coming, find what technology can be used to make you sleep. It's a very delicate line between the two. Thank you so much. We shall close off now with a clap from everybody to our facilitator this morning, Mrs. Joyce Mungati. Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Mm.